You know, guys, I think I actually feel bad for Meghan Markle. And it's weird to talk about, but I think it's relevant in a way because I feel like she is a perfect example of what happens when the old system of pushing certain celebrities, pushing certain shows, pushing certain narratives falls apart in the face of the person who is pushing those narratives or who is trying to embody some type of image. What happens when it doesn't actually match up with the reality of who they are? And it's one of the reasons why the internet has exploded in the way that it has and content creators have exploded in the way that they have. Because nowadays, when you think about it, most people don't go looking for celebrities because what they want is the authenticity of somebody who creates content online. Most of the time that is because if somebody is making content on their own time, if they're making it of their own volition, they're going to talk about the things that matter to them. They're going to discuss the things that are important in their lives. And in this space, I actually have a lot of sympathy for her because, for instance, in the space that we're in here, we talk about all sorts of things. We talk about the likes of Meghan Markle, who is a huge point of discussion because the royal family is a huge point of discussion. But if we're talking about the things like the movies and the television shows that I love, there actually isn't a huge audience for it in a space like YouTube, but I still do it when I can. Most people in this space, they want to talk about Star Wars. Well, they used to want to talk about Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, DC, these big franchises that have been so relevant in culture for so long. But the stuff that I love, like old boomer slop television from the late 90s and early 2000s, the audience for that in this space isn't the same as it is for these big franchises. But you can't be a person that you're not. And it's not to say that I don't like talking about that stuff too, which I do. I just did a 20-minute video today on the failure of Marvel Studios to get any movies in the top 10 at the box office this year. But sometimes you can't help it. And for her, what happened is she got this inauthentic push because of her marriage to Prince Harry. And what it felt like to me was they had to build a brand around her, and she didn't have anything in which to build a brand around. So they chose this lifestyle / cooking / entrepreneur identity, which doesn't actually match up with the reality of who she is. You look at this article and it's like she literally cannot win. Meghan Markle dubbed Salmonella Sussex as she's mocked for Thanksgiving Day turkey blunder. The Suits alum is being dubbed Salmonella Sussex by critics online for a hygiene mistake that she made while preparing a turkey on Thanksgiving Day. She shared a short clip on Instagram, seasoning a raw turkey in a roasting pan, rubbing it with various spices, and then adding lemon zest. "Let the game begin," she said. #mom joke. Of course, she put #mom joke. But people were quick to point out that she kept her jewelry on the entire time when she was preparing the raw turkey. What in the Salmonella Sussex is going on here, said one person on X. "I don't know anyone who wears their rings and bracelets when they're handling food, especially a turkey. Guaranteed spread of salmonella," another person tweeted. Another person said, "Oh my God, that's actually disgusting. I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out. So gross, and it's basic food handling knowledge. Proof that she has no idea what she's doing," somebody said. One person said, "It makes me queasy when I see people cooking food with jewelry on." Again, if your whole bag is to work making food and you want to be the next Martha Stewart, then you better either have the clout that Martha Stewart has and the goodwill from her fans, so much so that she can go to jail and come back and still be beloved, or you better know exactly what you're doing. I watched, I saw an article earlier about Nara Smith cooking something for Thanksgiving, and she has her own controversies around her, but none of it has to do with whether she is able to adequately, cook her food or not. People just assume that she can because she doesn't give them a reason not to. Do you guys remember this? Let me see if I have it here. Yes, this one here. It was when she was using the jar lifter upside down. Again, am I going to notice that? No. But the audience that you're catering to, the audience that wants to watch your content, is certainly going to be the ones to point it out. And when you've lost all your goodwill over the years because of your whining, you have turned people against you to the point now where it feels like the majority of her audiences are hate watching her because they're looking for things to go wrong. It's why I keep keep saying she needs to just go heel. She needs to embrace some type of alternative persona and be the evil queen of not England for all she knows. She needs to embrace something new and do something differently, because it feels like people are now, they're doing such a good job of nitpicking everything. Again, they're doing it here. Not only does leaving the rings on make her look like she's incompetent, it makes her look out of touch with reality and like she's a spoiled brat because she's got all this money and she's trying to, show you this lifestyle that she's pushing where it doesn't even feel like she knows what she's doing with it. And then memes started going around. This one says, Meghan Markle is never going to live this label down. Hashtag Salmonella Sussex. It's got a wine. If you're listening to the show right now, it's got a wine bottle that says Salmonella Sussex on it. Another person, rare, candid, behind-the-scenes images released of Salmonella Sussex and Prince Harry as he shows her he loves her with the kind of stupidity previously unknown to man as they prepare their floral love feast without the constraints of health and safety protocols. Again, these are just AI pictures of them making turkeys wrong. Ugh, that's disgusting. And you look at this stuff, and again, like I said, I feel bad for her. I feel like, on one hand, she has all of this money, all of these deals. She's got her podcasting deals. She's got her Netflix deals. She's making a good amount of money, I have no doubt whatsoever, doing everything she does. But she probably feels in a lot of ways like she is trapped in the world that she's in right now. And it would be creatively freeing for her to go down a different path. But once you've committed to this bit, where do you go from there? Well, where you go is even more nitpicking. As people were watching her, I guess her new special, her new holiday special comes out today. It's December 3rd. And people noticed a continuity error in this already, to the point where it's making news headlines, because apparently she had a rescue beagle. Is it Guy or Guy? Who she'd had since 2015, and he died in January of this past year. Well, Guy shows up in the video, in the new special, despite the fact that the dog died last January. Now, you and I know, if you know anything about, these types of productions, this stuff goes into production long before they ever end up actually airing. If you have a favorite, Christmas special from a television show that you watch, it was likely filmed months prior to doing so. It's one of the things that makes actors so good at what they're doing. But here's the problem. Because she has no goodwill built up with the audiences, because she feels, because to the audience, she feels like she's out of place, like she doesn't know what she's doing, like she's putting on a fake persona. It's a facade. She gets no leeway from anyone. Where if she was somebody who had the audience by the palm of her hand and they loved watching her content, they could see the dog show up in a special like that, and they might see it as kind of a heartwarming callback to when, the dog was in her prior work, and that would have been something beautiful. But because she doesn't have that, everyone's just going to point it out, and that's what's happening here. People who don't like her are pointing out, look how fake this makes her look. Obviously, the special was not filmed this year. It was filmed last year. Paula Matanovich says, so either Guy the dog never died or resuscitated, or Meghan Markle the idiot confirms her holiday special was filmed early 2024. Didn't the post on IG say his death was January of 2025? And then you get all sorts of posts like this. It says, Meghan Markle is so entirely effing stupid that 19 and a half minutes into her stupid effing holiday celebration, she features the Guy the beagle. The dog died. I'm paraphrasing here because they called the dog a mutt, which seems rude. The mutt died in January of 2025. That's rude. Is that rude? Don't treat the dog that way. He didn't do nothing to you. This shows that it was filmed at least a year ago. She is so effing stupid, it's unbelievable. But the details, guys. Yes. Again, this becomes news because of your personality, and there's nothing that you can do about it. She needs to find her next avenue. There has to be something that she actually likes doing, or she needs to settle into it. If I'm to believe that she actually loves cooking and she loves prepping dinners and parties, there are tons and tons of millions upon billions of women that actually do love that stuff. Is it possible that she does? Yes. Then perhaps the issue is that she is so hampered by ego and image and everything needing to seem perfect that when you try that hard to make everything perfect, nothing ends up working out. Details get missed and things fall through the cracks because you're so worried about how things are going to look that you're not focusing on what you're actually doing. She needs to pivot, and she needs to do something else. Get away from the podcasting, get away from the lifestyle content. It just doesn't seem to work her. She needs a heel arc. She needs to become a bad guy in her content or pivot to something completely different. You want an example of somebody who actually is successful? This is like one of my favorite Instagram accounts where this girl makes disgusting food and pretends like it's good and most of the time fakes eating it. My favorite here was her Thanksgiving release, Monster Energy Turkey.
To make a Monster Energy turkey, I'm hosting Thanksgiving this year and wanted to surprise my family with something unforgettable. Just marinate your turkey in Monster overnight, then make a Monster marinade with your seasonings and inject the turkey with even more Monster. It leaves the skin perfectly sweet and honestly doesn't taste too different. I hope my family loves it.
She actually ate it. Look, do something like that. Pivot in some way, shape, or form. You can do it. Stop worrying so much about making everything perfect and start focusing on the things that matter to you. You've got agents, you've got marketing specialists, you've got all of these people at your beck and call. Find something that you're actually passionate about and lean into it so you don't have to feel like you have to fake everything to make it perfect. If this life that you're living, if the cooking and the lifestyle stuff is your passion, then you need to find a way to settle down, calm down, and just focus on making it fun rather than making it perfect. Because when you go that direction, it doesn't work out and it feels fake to everybody. We don't live in the celebrity economy anymore. We live in the influencer economy, and people can smell fake coming from a mile away. Just my thoughts on the matter. What do you guys think? I wouldn't normally do a video like this on this topic, but I do think that she is an interesting case study in somebody that probably has all the tools that she needs to succeed, but can't seem to get out of her own way. I would be interested to know what your thoughts are on the matter. If you don't know what our podcast is, guys, Pop Culture Crisis is live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is, of course, noon Pacific. We go again live on Tuesday, December 9th. The Monday, December 8th episode will be pre-recorded and released that same day. Hope you will join us on Tuesday. Thanks for watching the video. See you soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.